And here it is, the final group. Terra, Edgar and Bannon. And of course, rapids riding means immediate attack by enemies. So just put on the regular prayers, attacks and tool use. Which should be more than enough to wipe out enemies. And Terra learned a spell. Yeah, Terra gains spells through her natural level gain. Celeste does the same as well. I do say that this prayer ability Bannon has is ludicrously effective. Practically full heal every turn for free. Absolutely game breaker if there would be anything. If he would be available for longer time. But I do say that the water effect in this one is really good, because when you look at this, they got different paces of water animation going around in this screen, or at least it looks like it, making it appear that they're of a real perspective. So they had a lot of experience that with the Super Nintendo graphics at this phase. Well, it was at the final phases of the system's era, but so it would be quite much understandable, and it would be third Final Fantasy game, and definitely not third Super Nintendo game Squaresoft would be using. So just arriving to the city. Well, seeing that what has been happening, them being quite jumpy is completely understandable. So still just enjoying the beautiful rendition of the first of the Final Fantasy theme itself. It's extremely simple, just rising notes, but for some reason it has this sense of magic in it. And as much as I can see, it has been used through Final Fantasy games for a long time. Maybe not as a main theme, but as something that appears a lot. So, back towards the Narshe, through the Narshe mines. And of course there will be enemies. But following the basic policy of prayers and tools should wipe them out quite nice and fast. So I could... let's just try to slip in here. Nothing. Some of the buildings have been, well, built inside to the cliff face, which is, I think it's quite interesting little structural detail. I don't think there's many real houses that have been built with that kind of idea of basically making building jammed inside. Well, actually, yes, I have seen it. Something like buildings carved basically into hill or something like that. But not in that kind of scale that the roof itself would be jutting out from the rock. But in some sense that you could have a building in a hill, and there would be a basement. Yeah. I just wanted to see the enemy, catch the enemy, so I find the enemy, so I can actually. Auto crossbow, really useful. If you would have a good timing, you could get through fast. Right. There. Yeah, this is not particularly, you could say, really easy. But luckily you don't need to do this, you could say, 100% completely 100% truly accurate. I think completely accurately following the path. There was a little bit of leeway you could have. But from there the game began, but let's just no, couple of enemies again. Wiped out in seconds before I'd even made a note about it. And why does the map screen keep coming up? Locations in this game are not that complex that you would really need a map to figure out where to go, which is, I find, to be a nice detail. Here's plenty of Mughals around here, and they say their favorite catchphrase of Kupo. I don't know, could I call them cute or friendly or whatever. And that one appears a bit somehow more important than the others. And there was a sword in here. With a secret door to let me through here. Oh, wasn't it nice? Just walk through the place without even... and I got benefits without even much of a problem. Just regular... They go down. But I think that when you compare this to the Sabin's or especially Sabin's episode, which included several boss fights and a lot of wandering about and 2 new characters and lots of plot, this one feels much easier episode in that kind of sense. Because I already got here. Which tends to happen quite a lot in Final Fantasy. It's either savior or a death. Yeah. And this was actually very fast and fast episode. So you could say that this might have been something like a War of the Magi. Oh, and Sabin came along, and with assistance. I was saying that they already attacked. The neutrality doesn't work. Oh yeah. And there's some sort of female matter regarding Locke, which gives him a sort of kind of weakness. Oh yeah, there's 2 former Imperials in the team, and Cyan, well, I don't think he picks a fight easily. And of course, Kefka is leading it. I don't know how his name is pronounced. Yeah, gleefully once again to do some more war crimes. How in hell they did that? But then again, it might not react to the regular people. And there's quite lots of sprites also as well in the game. They could add a lot of them. Combat screens are quite stiff, but this one is not that. And Celeste does appear to have a bit of a, you could say, blunt personality. Not yet. Let's drink some of that stuff. Make a save. And have a chat with all these lovely folks I already gathered to my crew. Oh, I can do it like this. Switch around team members. Well, yeah, I guess so, yeah. So, okay, please tell me. 3 parties, and you have to switch them. Alright, I have to make 3 grooves. Although in practical sense, I would not need to do that many, because I can just make 2 actually capable teams and then just and keep the not so capable team member as just a little bit of a backup, keeping up, but it's basically just more like using 2 teams. One of them infused with magic and both of them with magic supporters as well. So, proceed. So, it will be soldier groups walking around. And of course, because of how it goes, there will be groups of all kinds of unpleasantness, personalities coming here. So it's very much into auto crossbow spamming. So, but I think I might want to edit out this very mechanically repetitive fight. So I'll be seeing once the groups have been dispatched. Well, teams have been dispatched, but there's one guy just running around, so let's just intercept him and see what he is. He is something special. Hell's Rider. So let's just blast him with a Bio Blaster. Oh yeah, took some damage. What the hell? So he blasted out that bio, some sort of poison attack. Quite potent feeling one, but wasn't enough to take out my squad. And just because to make things clear, make things more efficient, I just run away. But if I now talk with a Bannon, I can't make my parties anymore, so it might have been more efficient to have just one four guy full powered party instead of this kind of lesser party. But let's just go and now beat up, give Kefka a beating he's so deserving. Yeah, he looks like a flop. Celeste is here just to make sure that is here to make sure that the magics that she can drain the magics. Hopefully. Oh yeah, it seems like she's doing just fine with this ability because Kefka has quite powerful magic. Oh damn, that was quite a powerful attack he did. So let's just whip out the Phoenix down. And he also hits quite hard. Oh damn. And he missed. But luckily that should keep somewhat safe. He ran off. But that was a boss fight. I do say that this kind of setting looks real nice. I don't know, is it because of the conversion to modern generations or something else, but the coloring flash is quite very prominently strong. either. It more like seems that the Terra is responding to Esper than opposite. Oops. That was a big twist. Terra transformed into some sort of flying fairy with only vaguely female humanoid shape, and those long flowing locks of hair, and it flies off, or she flies off. Lot of flying on the world map. Yeah, she blurted it out quite smartly. Well, now I know what to do, where to go, what to do. And of course, Celeste will be in here because of her magic abilities. Edgar for tools, Luck for thieveries, and let's bring the brothers team to here, because well, Gao is powerful but not that useful, at least in my gameplay style. So no, not changing. Well, there was some stuff in there. Castle Figaro. Yeah, Final Fantasy has a lot of this kind of story elements of just one person being extremely important for in the long context. Not because of their political authority, but because of some sort of ability they would have. Oh yeah, not even Lock can open it. But nothing else of really big, important and useful stuff. Narshe is quite, I'd say it is one of the more better looking Final Fantasies. These 2D Final Fantasy games appearances. Well, I guess that when you're being attacked by something, it's no longer neutral. Best way to make somebody not neutral is to attack them. That was a little shield. Yeah, they got a lot of equipment around here. Yeah. And that about going to Figaro means that it's time to go and burrow to the ground effect, so meaning that Figaro Castle would be used as a traveling method, because it already was shown that Well, I don't think they were deliberately trying to dig up Fang. Well, of course nobody would believe you because you're drunk. No, but drunks usually don't enjoy much of the being particularly trustworthy. I would not find it unusual at all, or unbelievable at all, that drunk is not trustworthy. I'd say that the money in this game is quite necessary stuff. It is not. Well, through the end of the game it does lose some of its usefulness, but... Oh yeah, clocks in this city seem to have a lot of use. But Narshe, judging by the color scheme and all that, it's also quite cold city. What? How could... What? Oh yeah, it's the mine. Yeah, the game likes to put the minimap on there. Must be some sort of remnant of this being... was it PlayStation Portable or port or something like that? Maybe I have to check out the settings for how things are going. It's now time to go to the world map. And actually, well, it takes only seconds to walk there anyway, so no need to bother to do a edit. But I do like the little transparency effect on Celace and all. I like that. Oh, that was unnecessary. And that was also unnecessary. Just regular attacks would have been more than enough to take care of all these. But no matter, they're out. Because here's the Figaro Castle. Oh yes, of course I came here. Oh yeah, and Sabine ran off. I don't remember that little detail moment has any relevance in larger scale of the game, but it's a nice little detail that they added that. Oh yeah, and these places sell stuff cheaper if you talk to these merchants as Edgar. I think I have said it before, but I'll say it again. Oh yeah, and he got more tools, drill and a flash. They are all quite useful. Drill does a lot of damage. Flash can do a little bit of a... Well, it does damage and it also blinds enemies, even though that isn't much, but it does damage. All kinds of craziness going on around here. Actually, you could say non-craziness, because Figaro is run very, you could say, sane level of management. Oh yeah, not even Kin can go to the machine room. Oh yeah, so let's just travel with the underground castle. Big show. I'm quite certain that Kefka is still angry about that little mishap. They must have built that kind of tunnel long time ago, and then used just basically build a rails that this castle can then travels with. Yeah, thanks Sabine. But now I am at Kolingen, so let's just travel northwards to see what's going around here. Well, there's at least new set of enemies. There's some regular punching, kick punches and all that. Yeah, Edgar's tools are generally, you could say, really useful. Oh, but there's this. There was Chocobo stable right here in the forest. No, thank you. Chocobo rides, fun, useful, but ultimately quite pointless endeavor, because the distances are not that long and random encounters are, you could say, they are more beneficial than detrimental. But another strange location. And there's some sort of guy who wants to build a coliseum for people to do big fights in. Doesn't seem to be much of a... Apparently it looks like Flash does more damage than Drill. Meaning it's better to just use Flash instead of Drill. But here's the city of Kolingen. Well, now at least know a vague direction where it's going. And there's Shadow again. So he survived. I wonder, is Shadow only assassin of the entire world, because they seem to know he seems to be known. Oh yeah, he built one. And Terra was capable of destroying a house all by herself. interestingly enough, that little story tidbit, how you wanna call it, it has quite strong emotional impact despite its basically simplicity and shortness. And there's also the fact that Squaresoft would make use of that that kind of narrative style or structure of male character accidentally making a female character some sort of accident, and then they would be blamed for it and have some sort of unpleasant consequences because of that. So she was hurt in the Imperial attack. Yeah. Suspended in well, in suspended animation. So, but now I know that Locke is from this city, and there would be all kinds of strange incidences going around here. So, still traveling southwards towards Opera House of Chidor and something else as well, and more enemies to deal with. So just put the repeat on and make them all perish. Sleep sting. Yeah, that didn't work so well for you. Full squad does quite a potent spray of damage to them. But I do say that this game has, well, I haven't played any Final Fantasy game which would have bad music. At worst there has been bland or mediocre. At worst, music in Final Fantasy game has been quite dull, but it's never been bad. And I would say that I would say that once the games could really start to use real musical samples and not just synthesized voices from the voice processors or whatever is the word, sound chips, then they could have been. The video game composers could really start to be, well, as good and as competent, or let's say they could do, but most likely they always had been as good and competent as they had as some sort of movies composers like John Williams were, but with access to real musical instrument samples made it possible for video game composers to be really good. So this city is only for the rich, and poor people left. Seems real great place to be in. But there's lots of all kinds of handy equipment around here. fancy looking buildings. And there's a mention of opera house. All kinds of nice accessories, they are handy. Or relics, however you wanna call it. So. An auction house, so what might be here? Yeah, they sell, there's an auction house in here. First time in the Final Fantasy game there would be this kind of betting auction place you have. And there's a guy who lives here called Auser. Oh. All kinds of yeah, that one looks very familiar. All kinds of artworks in here. It's a fancy place, alright, nothing unusual about that. But now I also knew that the blinding light monster went towards north to the poor people's city, so let's just start going up there. Yeah, flash on you. Throw the potion. The full cure on everybody, and another flash should solve the problem, and it does. Real fast, real efficiently too. But here's the other city, Zozo. It looks bad. Never heard of it? And unlike other cities in Final Fantasy VI, or generally in every Final Fantasy, unless of course you count Final Fantasy VII and Midgard, which is real huge location. This is the first time in Final Fantasy game where the city location itself has enemies encounters. So yeah, it doesn't look particularly friendly place. Yeah, another. But they did add all these little flashing locations and all that relic shop. Go? Nope, I'm not seeing any girls lately. Not one at the top of floor of this building, so don't bother checking. Alright, that's suspiciously specifically said. That's a quite big group of ruffians. Oh, I did get in line, so what is this weird incident going on? So whatever it is, I guess I have to end this episode right here because there was lots of things happening. So I'll be seeing you next time.